Hello and welcome to the Albert Flamingo podcast. Remember, I am not Albert or Flamingo. I am just here to this on my channel, because people don't really know about the Flamingo podcast, so sit back and relax, put some headphones in, and close your eyes and enjoy the podcast and remember what Albert says. I didn't he say so. If you said something bad, it wasn't me. It was Albert. Remember, Albert isn't he really family friendly, so cuss words, warning, and enough with me yapping. Enjoy the podcast.
All right, guys, I am pissed off right now. I shouldn't even say guys because there is zero viewer for this channel. I have not made this channel yet. This is just, this is going to be my rant alt trash channel. There's nothing good here, nothing good to be seen. Skip over this right now. But I do have something that I'm kind of passionate about that I would like to maybe rant a little bit about. It's going to be about Creator Clash, which is the YouTuber boxing event. All the proceeds go to charity. Good stuff. It's ran by iDubbbz and Anissa. They do a great job. I went to the first one. Look at this. Look, I want this event to succeed. I know nothing about event running, so don't listen to me. But look, I went here. I had a great time with friends. And then I heard the news. One of the fighters I was most excited to see, Froggy Fresh, was just kicked off. I saw this tweet. There has been a change in the lineup, and Froggy Fresh will no longer be fighting against Chris Raygun. We will announce his replacement in the coming days with just 3 weeks left. The countdown to Creator Clash 2 has begun. That is not much time. 3 weeks left. That is a quick change to make in the lineup. So, if you're wondering who any of these people are, because Froggy Fresh and Chris Raygun, they just sound like kids you would lose to in Fortnite, and their username would pop up. This is Froggy Fresh. He used to be Krispy Kreme 10 years ago, but the real Krispy Kreme donut company, I think, sued him, so he had to change his name to something else, and he chose Froggy Fresh. He came out with bangers like this 10 years ago.
I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all.
So good, was so excited. Then when I saw this tweet, I had to look into it. So it's this, it all starts here. This is where it all falls down. He makes a video beefing with Chris Raygun, his opponent, and this is the video he makes.
There seems to be substantial evidence that Chris Raygun is now on Adderall. Yo, young man. Amphetamines couldn't save Hitler, and they can't save you either.
The Hitler comparison, I would like to say Chris Raygun maybe shouldn't be compared to Hitler, but that's okay. We're getting inside our opponent's head and tearing them down. That is boxing.
On April 15th, if I don't hurt you beyond what anybody could have imagined, I will be so disappointed in myself that I will subscribe to Anissa's OnlyFans.
So that's what started all. Anissa has an OnlyFans. I have no problem with that kind of stuff. A lot of people do. I don't care. I don't really care what anybody does. But one person that did care was Anissa's mom. She started beefing with him on Twitter. She said, "Classic case of brain damage. Better have that looked at along with your obviously shrunken balls." And hey, I'd like to be the first one to say, shrunken balls, that's a normal thing. A lot of us have that. It's completely fine. So the beef kind of spiraled from here. I think he just kind of responded to Anissa's mom. Why is Anissa's mom on Twitter? Is if my dementia-ridden parents were on Twitter just flaming people, I would ask them to get off. I shouldn't talk about my parents like that. They watch my stuff. They don't have any illness. I shouldn't have said that, but it's too late now. All right, so the beef continues. Anissa's mom called him an imp because he's short. So he said, "Better a imp than a pimp," which I think was like a diss about her having an OnlyFans. And I support sex workers, stuff like that. I don't have a problem with that. I feel like I should reiterate that. And I don't think he should have been kicked off for this because I feel like this is maybe like a family affair that should have been sorted out. Like maybe, yeah, he went too far, but man, I don't know what I would do if someone's mom was like saying, hey, hey, you have no balls, you're an imp, I hate you. You know, I would probably respond. I mean, he's kind of like a bit of a character. He's a Southern boy. And he don't back down to no fight type of vibe I get from him. And kicking him off for this, I understand that it's a charity event and you want it to be very inclusive. Like they kept, I'll show you their tweet. They wrote a tweet that said that they want Creator Clash to be an inclusive and fun environment for creators and fans while giving back to charity. That has always been the mission, and Froggy Fresh's recent behavior does not align with that mission. I feel like he didn't do anything like crazy. It is fighting. People do get riled up, and yes, it's your event. It is for charity, but this being on a 3-week notice, like that's not. I feel like that's also not fair to Chris Raygun. As you know, when you prepare for these events, you prepare for a specific person. And I don't know. I'm not the one to be like, hey, just man up. But maybe we just take the OnlyFans comment on the chin, you know what I mean? And just kind of keep the show going. I'm not one to tell people what to do. I've never done anything honestly good in my life. So I'm not going to tell you how to run your event. I don't mean to compare this to the UFC because they're fighting for money and it's not a charity event. So of course it's going to be run differently and it's like a lot more hardcore fighting. But one thing I have to give Dana White credit for is a lot of fighters that are in his company will talk shit about him, but he doesn't he's not going to kick them off for that. And I like I said, it's a charity event. It's very, very, very different. But this one fighter, Paulo Costa, has quite literally done everything he could to get under Dana White's skin, and pretty much nothing happened out of it. So this fighter, Paulo Costa, he's really funny. I'm a big fan of him. He photoshopped Dana White's face onto a guy that's accused of grooming someone, and so that was a really bad thing to Photoshop his face onto the guy who's the accused groomer. And Dana White responds to him saying, please, please, please delete that. Will you please delete that? And, you know, so the show went on. I feel like maybe an approach like that, or just maybe handling it behind closed doors, you know, it gets really muddy when parents get involved. I understand maybe there should have been like a call at home. Like Paulo Costa is always flaming the UFC as a company and Dana White. Like he's saying, like he has a before UFC, driving Lamborghinis, after UFC, driving this beat up piece of shit car. So like he's always trash talking them for like not paying him enough, stuff like that. This is even him like role playing him beating up Dana White in the UFC video game. Yeah, it literally is. So, like, I don't know. I feel like when fighting gets involved, like, I feel like you also can't really expect Froggy Fresh to be, like, the clean, innocent face that a lot of the other creators are. You know, he is a Southern boy, and he is a bit of a character. I'm a big fan of watching fights. I'm too scared to fight for myself. And, you know, I feel like I come across as a person with a lot of brain damage, but I've never actually been, like, hit in the head. You know what I mean? So I feel like maybe it's not for me. That's just a cope because I'm too scared. But, you know, this lineup doesn't really get me super excited at this point. You know, this fight got canceled. This is canceled. I don't know who a lot of these people are. I'm really excited for Aaron Hansen. I'm a huge fan of him. But like even the last fight with Aaron Hansen, this is at the end of the video, so probably no one made it this far. But I have a couple of criticisms of Creator Clash. I mean, they probably learned from this, but the first Aaron Hansen fight, I think Aaron did amazing. But there was a 60-pound weight difference. Me drawing 60 really makes a difference there. But that is such an insane like mismatch. And clearly Harley won. I think Harley also did really, really good. I think both of them did amazing, but I don't think they should have been in the same weight class. I know boxing, anything over 205 pounds, they're all just in the same weight class, but I feel like they could. There's some moves that seem a little bit obvious that maybe they could do a little bit better. I know that probably not that many content creators want to box, but I don't know. I just really love this event. I want it to succeed. I wish they didn't do the thing they did. I feel like it wasn't that serious. Maybe your mom shouldn't have been on Twitter arguing with people. I hope if I see anyone at this event, they don't. I mean, no one's gonna see this stupid video, so it doesn't matter. I could probably say anything I want on here, but yeah, that let me know. Let me know if you want me to rant about more things. They'll become more clear and concise. I've never really had to make a clear opinion. Psst, goddamn phone is. I'm getting a call from mainland China. Who the hell from China wants to get the? All right, I just got off the phone with China. It was actually the Creator Clash officials telling me to cut this off right now. So just let me know if you want me to continue this channel. And I might. I'm not that smart, so it's hard for me to make clear rants. So there might be a few cuts in this video. I'm sure I'll get better at it. Yeah. Again, no hate, no hate. I love this event, and I like and respect the people who run it. And I respect everyone who boxes.
Wow, you finished the first episode. I am very proud of you, but that is not the end of the podcast. Enjoy the next episode. It talks about Albert stuff. I am pretty sure you will enjoy it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my second channel. Or I don't even think I should call it a second channel. Welcome back to the Albert channel. In no relation to any other channel. I am a new YouTuber. I'm gonna be answering my most asked question of like the past 6 years that for some reason I've never really given a full answer to. But before I do that, let me walk you through this new setup I got going. This is the exclusive Albert channel. Let me ooh, wiggling. Let me get back in frame over here. I got this webcam put on my TV in this special little game room I have. All right, let me give you a little tour. The audio is gonna get really bad for a second. I'm gonna be working on all this. My quality might suck right now, but I swear one day I'll change for you. I could walk around a little bit. Fucking piece of shit's broken already. So it was about 6 years ago I stopped posting on this other YouTube channel I had called Albert Stuff. You know, I'm not even sure if this channel was real. I don't even know if it was me or not, but I will answer questions based around it today. Some people try to hold me accountable for things that this channel may or may not have said, and I'm not here to take any accountability today. All right, I'll stop messing around. All right, we're talking about Albert stuff today. Let me get into reaction mode real quick. Let me just squish myself down and. All right, so the website's gonna be a little bit squished, but I just need you guys to see how relaxed I am, at least for this first video in this new setup. So you can see there's only 3 videos on this channel, but I have all of them, pretty much all of them, still on private. And the last video was posted October 18th, 2017, which is like 6 years ago almost. So one of the big reasons behind that was something called the adpocalypse, where I think PewDiePie said a no-no word, like a really bad no-no word, and then it had a big snowball effect of a bunch of advertisers pulling out of YouTube, and everyone started making way less money, so YouTube stopped letting you monetize as much if you had edgy content. And let me tell you, this channel was filled with edgy content. And one thing that YouTube really didn't like is that I was making edgy content on a kid's game. Roblox back then branded themselves as a kid's game, even though it was pretty similar to what it is now. So my channel had this, like you know, like the Sasuke curse mark. That's what my channel felt like it had, because every time I'd post a video, it would get demonetized. It wouldn't even tell you that it would be demonetized. This symbol didn't exist back then. They would just you would just make nothing off your video. And I had no other things going on in my life besides YouTube, so there's a bit of panic there. You know, over time, I did get a little bit less edgy on the Albert Stuff channel because I realized a lot of the content I made super early on was, like, really. Like, some of the things I said in some of these videos, I definitely do not stand by anymore, and, you know, I apologized for it years ago, some of the things I said. I think it's more fun to poke fun at some of the mistakes I've made on this channel, but I don't want this whole thing to be tainted. So I guess in short, YouTube definitely not agreeing with the stuff that I posted on here at that time. YouTube's a lot more accepting of edgy content these days, which I'm glad they are. But for me at that time, it was too late. I was screwed. So kind of for a long time, I was pretty scared, honestly, that YouTube was gonna like hunt me down and just shut down everything I had, which is a little irrational. But at that time, it was kind of this, or I go die under a bridge and be homeless or something, which is okay. That's okay. But I wanted to at least give YouTube a shot, since that was the only thing I've ever really wanted to do. YouTube's been more open to edgy stuff for honestly a couple years now, which is why I wanted to make this channel. I wanted not to like be edgy. There's a lot of things on the Albert Stuff channel that I would not repeat on a public platform ever again, or in private probably. Which is also why I've been a little bit edgier on the Flamingo channel. Like, I've been more open to talking about certain things, just bleeping out curse words instead of totally avoiding it. But I'm definitely not going to be making racist jokes and stuff again if people are looking for that. But I'll say shite. I'll say shite. Like, there's definitely stuff I'll want to talk about on this channel that I just won't really make sense to be talking about on the Flamingo channel. I still love doing the Flamingo channel, by the way. There wasn't really a moment where I'm like, ugh, this sucks, or anything like that. Like, I don't feel like I have to make edgy stuff. You know what I mean? Oh, shit. One thing I do a lot these days, for some reason, is I overthink what I say. So no video on here will be really perfect, or maybe no video will even be good. But I'm trying to, like, break that mental block I have. So I'd almost honestly prefer something to be shitty, just so there's no standard of, like, something having to be good. You know what I mean? What was I gonna say? One sec, I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't know if this is going too off the rails or anything, but there was also a point where I thought, like, past mistakes would haunt me forever or something, and people would think I was a bad person because I messed up once or twice or 3 times or 5 times. Man, fucking, I paid $300 for this, by the way. Zoom out. Ow! You know, that was at a time where the internet was kind of holding people accountable for, like, really random things. You know, this isn't like an anti-cancel culture rant. I do think, like, holding people accountable on the internet definitely has its place and definitely has kept a lot of bad actors off the internet. You know, just because I mess up a bazillion billion times, does that make me a bad person? Ding! No, but just kind of knowing, like, who I am and, you know, like, the little mistakes don't make me a bad person. And if a couple people on the internet want to think that, even after I clarify certain things, so be it. Pin me against the cross and stab me a million times. That's not walking back any apology I've made either. I do mean everything I've apologized for. I do mean it. I do mean how fucking just becoming more comfortable in who I am and knowing that I'm an okay guy. I'm alright. Let me know what you think of this whole, like, moving around type thing. Let me know what you think of all this. Sorry if this video went on way too long. Yeah, I'll get better at these kind of videos, like, the more I keep making them, so stay tuned for more stuff. For Albert stuff. Not really.